So listen up, car buying 101 for 2023. You're looking to buy a car and you're looking to figure out how much payment can you afford. Well, if your credit score is between 650 all the way up to 800 or 675 all the way up to 800, you're going to take 10% of your gross earnings to figure out your monthly payment. 10% of 3,000, 10% of 4,000, 10% whatever your monthly gross is. Now your gross that's before taxes, not what you take home. What you take home is called your net because that's what it is after taxes. But you're going to take 10% of your gross earnings. Now, if your credit score is between 500 and 649 or 650 and under, more than likely you're going to be a subprime lender. You're going to be a subprime customer, which means that the lenders are going to say you qualify for more payment than the 10%. They're going to say, because of your credit, they're going to say, okay, they're going to take 20 to 30% of your income, 20, 30% of your gross. They're going to put you in a whole different category because they figure that, your credit's bruised, you're going to pay more. They're going to give you more payment. But most of the people that qualify for 10%, they're good at budgeting. They're very good at their financing because they know what their credit score is and they pay their bills. When they go into the dealership, they know what payment that they want to be at. And if they have to put the down payment down to make that payment where they're comfortable at, if it is over the 10%, maybe it's 15% in their mind, or if it goes to 20%, then they're putting that money down to get that payment that they're comfortable with. Besides looking at a new car, whether you have subprime credit or great credit, you need to look at the add-ons on your car. When I say add-ons, I'm talking about warranty, I'm talking about gap, I'm talking about edge, I'm talking about tire and wheel. Any aftermarket product that the dealership is going to sell you, you need to know what exactly are you buying. Now, I'm in Michigan, and so Michigan roads are a mess. I even have tire and wheel on my vehicle because if I have a flat tire, it's easier for me to bring my vehicle to the dealership to get me a new tire, or if I bend my rim, it's easier for me to get that easily versus me paying out my pocket, going into my pocket. So I always protect myself with tire and wheel. Just watch out for the aftermarket products. Just know exactly what you're buying. No, because if you buy tire and wheel, you just want to make sure you're in a state that you're going to be able to use that tire and wheel. Now, if you're purchasing a warranty, you have to make a decision whether you want that warranty or not. Even when I do leases and I'm doing a 3-year lease, 3 years, 45,000 miles, I really don't worry about an extended service contract because that's just because I work at a dealership. But you have to make sure that you get something that you can afford, but just know what you're buying. That's very important. Now, if you're looking to say, well, I don't know whether I want to lease or buy, car buying 101 still. Now, if you're looking to lease, and you want that new car every 2 or 3 years. You want that new car smell and you're excited. Yes, you are. You may want to lease that particular vehicle. Now, if you want to own that vehicle and you say you're going to have your vehicle from 5 to 6 or 7 years, maybe 8 years, then you're going to be looking to finance that vehicle. You're going to be looking to buy. But you need to make a decision where you're going to be at and what you want to do. But now because of the economy, well, I don't want to say because of the economy. Now because a lot of lenders are not offering good lease prices, I would be comparing a lease and a buy payment. Compare a lease payment and a buy payment. I know when I went to go get my last car last year, my buy payment was $50 higher versus my lease payment. So I compared them both. I compared the lease payment and I compared the buy payment. And you know what I did? I didn't think that I would do this, but because of the market of what's going on, I actually bought the car instead of leasing. But when I went to the dealership and I had it on my mind for 6 months before I pulled the trigger, I said I wanted to lease, but that payment was $50 more and I could own the car. So I chose to buy the car. Another thing you want to look at too is know that right now, anytime you're looking to lease or buy, especially when you're looking to buy, know what the average interest rate is. It doesn't matter whether you don't qualify for that particular interest rate because of your credit, but you still want to know what's the going interest rates. The average interest rate right now, if you have excellent credit, and if you watched the beginning of the video, you know what the credit scores I said between 650 and up, 650 and 800. The interest rates are about a little bit 8.75 right now. 8 point in the 8s for a person with excellent credit. You're probably saying, yes, that's high. Well, because it's inflation, the interest rates are higher. Now that's on a new vehicle, but a used vehicle, the interest rate may be around 13%. And that really honestly depends on what? Depends on credit. And it really depends on what vehicle you're buying, because it might be a person that comes in and say, you know, they might get a better interest rate than that. But depends on when you see this video, because the interest rate might even be lower than that. You know, these were the interest rates I'm basing on the end of February, and now we're in the middle of March. So just know, it doesn't matter when you watch this video, but just know exactly what the interest rates are going, even though you may not qualify. Do your homework. Whether you have good credit, bad credit, no credit, do your homework. Homework is very important. Again, even if you know that you don't qualify for that certain interest rate, or maybe you don't qualify for maybe that car that you wanted to get and you have to get put in another car, know that somebody needs to present you numbers with your interest rate so you'll know what you're buying. You need to know your sales price of the car. You need to know tax. You need to know if there's a dock fee included. You need to know if any extra products been added, whether it's time wheel, gap. Because if you don't ask and you just sign your paperwork, because most people do, when they're so excited about getting their car, what they're doing is they're saying, you know what? I'm gonna sign this paperwork. I'm gonna look at the paperwork later. And you know what happens? Later never comes. You never look at the paperwork. You know when you look at the paperwork? You look at the paperwork when something happens. When something happens, that's when you go look at the paperwork and you wanna unravel all the things that you should have looked at from the beginning. So know this, you don't wanna know anything when you go and look for a car. Know your credit score, because your credit score, that's your buying power. You know, if you do have that low credit score, it's okay. Still look for a car, but get with that particular dealership or that salesperson that you trust. It's all about trust in today's world. Trust, trust, trust. If you don't get anything on this video, know this. Get with somebody that's gonna walk you through the process. It's gonna tell you what you need to do to get into your car, the car that you want, especially if you have boost credit. If you have some experience in this game, and I call it a game, or this world of buying cars or leasing cars, then you're probably not watching my video. But if you are, and you need my help, watch this video and then share it on one of your platforms or tag somebody in this video. All right, thanks for watching.